Hey everyone. I scheduled a synchronous meeting to meet with Mathieu, who's been working on a new community contribution for adding support for Debian packages to the GitLab Package Registry. And I feel like the team has, all the people in this room have been, or this virtual room have been working together for the past several months. So I thought it would be nice to kind of have a chance for everyone to get together and ask any questions synchronously that they have, and also start to get the community excited about this feature that's going to be coming out soon. So um, we have an agenda that looks like I had the first item. I'm interested in knowing where we are today, and I guess how close we are to this feature being available on GitLab.com for our users.
Currently there is not any feature available to users yet, because there are still a few merge MRs to be merged before. I think there is the issue with the list of items. I'm putting it. It's I think we have still like 10, something like this, merge requests to merge until 0.4, which are the minimum to have a way to upload packages and download packages. So it's a lot of work for the very basic feature, but I think it's better to have the code prepared to handle more complex cases after. So it's already, and there is a draft MR with all those MR applied, and it's working. At least it was working previous week, but now because of the review, things have moved a bit, but it's easy to fix this.
Cool. Yeah, this view is really helpful. It's amazing how much progress we've made so far. Are you blocked by anything, or having trouble? How is everything going? So.
I think I don't have anything blocking me, but the review level is very high in GitLab. It's not the case in other projects. So there are like 1, 2, 3 people reviewing. I think after this, the code is really good, but it slows down the things, I think. But it's the way it goes, and I think it's.
Oops, I think you mute yourself there for a second. Okay, well, that was just my high-level question. Steve, do you want to jump to your question about group distributions?
Sure. Can I react on 2 things?
Oh yeah, of course.
So yeah, the review time is slow, but that's for everyone, even for us. So that's expected. And 2, I heard this line of preparing the code to much complex situations. Usually how we do things at GitLab is really we go for the simple version first. So it can be, it's not dangerous, but you could invest a lot of time in trying to solve a future problem that might not happen. And usually what we do is that we just focus on the problem at hand and just iterate on it. If we have a more complex thing to handle, well, we just iterate on it. So I would say that it's a balance about, yeah, I know that this is something we will need, so I can start working on it. That's correct. But I guess it's a warning. Don't fall in the trap of, yeah, I need to handle this, and we will need this. And actually, after releasing the feature, this A, B, C, D problem do not happen at all. And actually, we didn't need to handle them at all. And those situations already occurred sometimes. So that's why I'm putting this warning of not going too far in solving future problems, because it's not worth it, I guess.
Do you have an example, David, of like something of a case where that happened to you, or you kind of made that decision?
Yeah, so usually when people try to add a new package type, they want to solve all the levels at once. So they want to create the project level, the group level, and the instance level all at once. And this leads to a lot of code and a lot of things to review. Whereas the proper way to handle this is first you focus on the project level. And then it's almost that you then wait for user need of, hey, we need the group level. Okay, so we will need to implement the group level. And then you wait for people needing the instance level, and then you implement the instance level. But this is a really long time frame, and in that time frame we could have other features, such as the virtual registries that we have in mind, that could replace a complete whole set of features, which in this case would be the group and instance level. They could be a good replacement for that. So while working on the project level, it's better to don't care about the group level, instance level, because we will handle this in future MRs and just focus on the project level. Not sure if that's a clear example.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Matthew, did we lose you? Looks like maybe you froze on your camera. I know David's super intimidating. He's always giving us problems, you know. Oh, there we go.
I'm sorry, my computer shut down. Okay.
You can try removing the video feed, which is what will eat all the bandwidth of your connection. So perhaps
Yes.
with audio only, you might have a better time.
Yes, but it was a power. Yes, you was saying that in GitLab you usually start small, something like this. So back, if you have any other question.
Oh no, it's okay on my part.
Cool. Well, I wanted to say, hey, I mean, we've been chatting for a while on reviews, so it's good to finally meet you. And I just wanted to say thank you again for all of your expertise that you've brought. I mean, I come from the world of NPM and Ruby gems, where Debian seems very different. So it's been really nice to have your expertise and help in understanding as we've been working through these. I had a couple of questions that I had thought of. One was actually something that I was trying to recall for David as well, was the group distributions are not associated to packages in any way right now, and I don't recall why that is. Was there a reason, or is that planned?
Yeah, I already answered this question the last today. The thing is, the basic relation is between a package and a project, but you can have a group view of all the packages within this group, within the project, within this group. So it works like this. When you create a distribution, you have a required parameter, which is a code name, and it will match all the project distribution with the same code name within the group, and it will aggregate, it will merge all those into a new distribution.
Okay, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I forgot the code name is what ties everything together. Thank you for reminding me.
Yes. There is also a chute suite, which is like an alias for the code name. And when you, this is the case in Debian, for example, when you upload a package, you upload to unstable, which is an alias for seed. And you can also less often upload to stable, which is an alias for currently Buster. And the idea is once the package is uploaded in a given distribution, it's linked to the distribution, even if the chute change, the name changes. I don't know if it's clear. This is what's used in the Debian currently when currently Bullseye is the next Debian release. It's currently frozen. If we upload packages to unstable, the packages will then go to testing, which currently is Bullseye. Once Bullseye is released, testing will map to Bookworm, which is the next release. You can see chute as moving aliases. They can change during time. This is one way to use it. This is the way Debian uses this, but it can also be used with more fixed ways. Like, for example, you can have a stable distribution and development or things like this. Or you can map to branches, or I don't know. I think usually we won't have many distributions.
Right, okay. Cool. Thank you for those details. The other curiosity I had, just not being super familiar with Debian, is I see that, you know, in the draft of the docs and through working through these MRs, the distributions are all handled through an API where we make curl requests. How do other registries work with distributions? Are those also just usually using simple tools like curl, or do they ever have specialized client tools or CLI tools?
The only part which is uniform, the same, is the upload part. Much of the time, the upload is done by putting files by using FTP, which is very old. FTP, more recently HTTP, or also this SFTP. This is the most used in corporate environment. It's the files are uploaded using SFTP or FTP. So this is the only thing that is almost the same between all the tools, but the creating distributions and changing metadata and things like this are usually done with config files.
Okay, gotcha. So usually everything is very static.
Yes, this is it's usually done by placing the files and launching a command which generates the release files. So it's not the same as npm or composer or thing like this.
Sure.
It's yeah, it came from all time. So it's in Debian, the generation is done 4 times a day, which is very slow. When I upload a package to Debian, I may need to wait 6 hours before it enters SID, before it is processed. So I don't want to create the same behavior in GitLab. I want something very instantaneous. But the problem is the way those files are created. It consumes resources because it goes like this. You browse all the package files, reading all the metadata, the name, version, dependencies. You create a packages file for each component and each architecture. So there can be dozens of them. And then all those files for deb files, udeb files, source files, there is an entry point file, which is a release file, which points to all those files with the checksums, and this file is signed at the end, ensuring with the signature and all the checksums that the whole thing is signed, transitively signed. This is done from packages to release, to package file to release. file. But when the client requests the data, it goes the other way. So it first asks for the release files, but this file can't be known until all the other files are already processed. This is not the case for things like NPM and things like this, where you have the checksum of the entry file is not bound to all the packages inside the repo. So yes, it's so I at first I thought I would keep the component, regenerate the component files, the packages only when a package for the corresponding component and architecture would change. But I think it's complicated to manage events and to know when each file is outdated. So I changed it between the start and the current implementation. I changed things a bit. So now when one package is uploaded or removed or something, the whole distribution is marked outdated and should be completely regenerated.
Okay. Yeah, and that's, I believe that's one of the MRs that we're looking at or recently looked at, the regeneration. That's interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting how that works and how you've made it dynamic. Thank you for explaining. Does anyone else have any questions to follow up with that? I did want to note with regards to maintainers, you've noticed Ash has dropped off as maintainer. He's still very excited about the Debian package manager, but he's just refocused his efforts on some other things. So he's just not going to be the maintainer on the Debian merge requests anymore. And I believe David will be probably the primary maintainer moving forward, unless something else changes. But just so you're aware. I think that's kind of all that I was curious about. And of course, just to note, if there's anything else that I can do to help with the MRs and reviews, because I know sometimes I'm the slowdown point of, there's a few days where I get busy and can't get back to them, but just always keep pinging me and keep on me, and I'll make sure I'll try to keep them moving as much as I can. But yeah, that's all great. I think Nico, you have a question?
Of course, code in the second that I was taking a sip. Yes, we are actually at time though. So I'll just verbalize it for the sake. What do you envision would be valuable to see in the UI on the front end, both in the list and the details page? Which data do you think is the most useful when you're looking at a Debian package to see? And if there is any special action that we'll need to support, for example, I don't know, saying regenerate the full distribution from this package, or mark this package as outdated, or I don't know. So those are a few questions.
I've already implemented a few UI stuff in the work in progress MR. but it's only simple thing because I don't know Vue.js, so it's only adding some fields. But yeah, I think we need a distribution view because now it's only in the package view. I don't know where to put this because there are container registry packages, and it would look strange to have Debian packages, to Debian distributions there. So I may need help in this part. Also, another place where I need help, it's a current MR review with all the GPG things, because it's security sensitive. Yes. Yes. In the UI, I don't know. Maybe we'll need to wait for the bugs to show, because normally the regeneration should work without manual intervention. So I don't know if we need to put something in the UI.
Okay, thank you. I think I've analyzed what team wrote, that we should have a follow-up with Ian, that is our team designer. I think the sooner we involve him and the sooner we open a conversation around this, the better it is, more things we can discover.
That's great. I think I could try and I'll talk to Ian, but I'll try and schedule some time for him in the next milestone to start to like break down the UI and make sure he's up to speed. Well, we are at time. I don't see any other questions in the agenda. Matthew, did you have any questions for us that we can help with, or anything to add?
No, I'm really in the package registry. I am also interested in Helm. I haven't seen anything in the roadmap for this Helm chart, the Helm repositories. Yes, is there anything? I think it's easier to do this, but.
We currently, you can upload a Helm chart to the container registry, but there's no way to distinguish between Helm and images because of the way that the metadata is passed. It is something that's on our roadmap, though, that we're hoping to tackle, I'd say, later this year. It really, the blocker is we have to update the Docker API to pass that additional data, and then we'll be able to implement that. One question we have is, we've been assuming that we would be able to use Helm v3, which supports publishing the Helm charts to an OCI registry. I heard from a customer recently that that's not the preferred way, and they still want to use Killer and older versions of Helm. So I think there's some open questions on how we pursue that, but generally that is something that we'd like to add, and we are thinking about probably the latter half of this year.
Okay.
Cool. Well, this was awesome, and if I'm happy to do this again if need be, but yeah, let's stay in touch, and let us know if you need anything. And it's been awesome working with you so far, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you. It was great to work with you. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.